Tonight, Jamil and I are going to be eating a Subway mukbang.
Woo!
And we're going to have a topic today. Jamil and I were talking about it, as we always do.
Yeah.
And we were wondering if we are basically fit to be parents.
Yes.
For those of you who do or do not know, we do not have kids right now. The biological clock is ticking. I'm 39. So we're always asking ourselves, you know, do we want kids? Are we ready to have kids?
Yeah.
Should we have kids? All those things. So we have some like questions that we found that we thought would be kind of fun to answer for each other to kind of see if we're fit to be parents at this point in time.
Exactly. And you know, one of the things I want to add too, like, you know, Chris and I, which we've talked about in videos, we're even open for adoption. So even if like we didn't have kids of our own, you know, adoption is actually a big option for us too. So, but still the question is, are we even fit to do this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know us and you guys probably have a perception of us, but we're going to ask these questions and we're going to know ourselves if we're fit.
I love that. I love that you found those questions, babe. So I'm excited to go over them because I don't know what you found.
Cool. Yeah.
So
that's true.
I was thinking, you know, you can ask me, we can ask each other.
Yes.
And we'll do that as we eat this delicious Subway food. Let's go.
Okay, cool. Also, you guys, Subway's doing these like dessert things?
New sides. They have like a foot-long chocolate chip cookie. They have this cinnamon churro. And they also have the Annie's pretzel stick. Yeah. So here's a churro. Let's try this
let's try
really
it
quick, and then we'll get into our sandos.
Cheers. Let's see. Okay. A little doughy.
Yeah.
It's too doughy.
Let's move on.
You don't like it?
No.
Really?
I think if it was fresh, it would be really good.
No.
And not fresh.
It needs more than that. It needs to be cooked all the way through.
To me,
it's too doughy.
It is doughy.
Well,
yeah.
At least we tried it.
Don't get it. Unless yours isn't doughy in your local Subway, because it could be.
Exactly.
Okay, what'd you get, babe?
All right, so I got the, it's at the, actually, I don't even know. Is it the Mexican shredded chicken?
I think it's called Mexicali chicken sandwich.
Mexicali chicken sandwich. So it's pretty much rotisserie chicken. There's cheese, of course, shredded, it's, Kristen knows what it is.
Pepper jack cheese, avocado.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I got cucumbers, lettuce. I got some bell peppers. Actually, I didn't get bell peppers. I'm just going to eat, you guys.
He always forgets exactly. But it's a lot of ingredients at Subway, right? So, but he got it loaded. It actually looks really good. I just felt like a wrap today, just to feel like a little bit lighter than the bready bread, right? Bready bread. But I got a turkey and ham wrap. I got cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, pickles, olives. And then I got the Baja sauce and some mayo and mustard.
Nice.
So make it extra saucy.
That sounds good. You guys, we haven't had Subway in a minute. We used to actually get it at least like once a month, I felt like, for our videos early on. But, you know, not having it in a minute, I forget how good this is. This sandwich is very good.
It's really good. Oh, I have my lipstick on here. Sorry, guys. Look like that so you don't have to see it. My bad.
It's all good. You'll be the only one eating it, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when we share it, it's a little rough. But yeah, no, it is really good. The churro, not so much.
I want to try the other things too. Maybe not the pretzel, but at least the cookie.
Yeah.
That sounds good, but you know, but I gotta be honest, like, I used to really love Subway cookies. In my opinion, they've kind of gone downhill a little bit. They don't taste as good as they used to. So I'm wondering, like, is that long cookie the same recipe as the other cookies that they have?
Right.
I don't know if it is or not. So if it is, I might not love it, but
the commercial of the foot-long chocolate chip cookie looked really good. Like, it was all gooey, the chocolate morsels. Of course, and it was steamy. I actually really kind of want to try it. But you have to get it fresh, or else it's just not as good.
Exactly.
This wrap is hitting, though. I hardly get wraps from Subway. It's good.
I know. Yeah, the wraps are good, and this sandwich is very good. So, I think we've asked this before, but where would you place Subway if you have Jersey Mike's, you know, Jimmy John's, Quiznos, Subway, Firehouse Sub? Do you put it in the top like few, or where would you rank it? I guess
I would for sure rank it top 5. You know, I like Jersey Mike's for sure #1. I think I am liking Jimmy John's more lately.
Me too.
But I would probably do Subway 3rd.
You would.
Yeah, at Firehouse Subs I've had multiple times. It doesn't wow me. So I'd actually put it 4th for and then I think there's that Porta Subs place. I put that below. So
that's the last, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Port of subs, you guys. Port of subs, in case you guys haven't heard of it. I mean, I had something from there a long time ago that was good. But since then, I've gone probably 2 or 3 other times, and it just wasn't good.
I've only had like one decent experience from there.
But you know what?
Yeah.
It also could be the one that we went to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we haven't been to the one out here in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And from what we understand, there's certain restaurants out here, you guys, versus where we were at before that are better out here. Mm-hmm. Like we were told that, for example, where we lived in California, Denny's is like all bad.
Oh yeah.
Denny's is not good at all. I mean, you guys probably remember we did some videos of Denny's. The burgers look terrible. Mm-hmm. But out here, we've heard that the Denny's are actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. So you never know, Port of Subs might be good too. Mm-hmm. You never know.
Even the IHOPs that we went to in California were mediocre. Mm-hmm. Out here, we've had great IHOP experiences. So who knows? But anyways, do you want to talk about being parents, babe?
Why,
are we ready to have?
Are you trying to be one?
Are we ready to have that conversation?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we definitely will. I'll get the questions in 2 seconds. I think this is a big deal because, you know, at the end of the day, you never really know how you're going to be as a parent until you become a parent, I'm assuming, you know. But we can guess, right? We can throw things out there and see how we feel, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was, I didn't tell you this, but I went, well, you knew I went recently to get my annual female checkup, right? So they...
By the way, Red Bull, you guys.
Are you listening? No,
yeah, sorry. I want to... just in case they're wondering. And just in case you're wondering what flavor, it's watermelon flavored.
I do have to say, I like the new decorations of the Red Bulls.
They look good.
Just the solid colors with the different flavors. I think it's a good design.
Yes, exactly. I had to drink this. We're actually, shout out to Dalvin, Zaddy Chung Chung. We're going to be doing a video with him a little bit later on and stuff like that. So after this, I'll be tired. So this will give me a boost.
So,
all right, so sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. So as I was saying, with the yearly checkup, it was just interesting because it said on my thing, like my name, and then it was like 39. It has the age next to your like tag. When they get the sample and everything. But anyways, they asked like, how many pregnancies have you had? Have you ever given birth? Have you ever had any pregnancies? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And everything was just like, no. And being my age, I definitely think like they were, they questioned it. You know what I mean? But I just haven't, we've never tried getting pregnant, and we've been very, very safe.
Very good.
Very safe.
Ever since high school.
Very safe. Not saying, you can't have an accident, but we've been very safe. So we never had any slip ups or anything like that. Yeah. So it's just interesting to say no at the age of 39. By the way, the lady next to me, I heard her saying that she had like 5 kids.
Oh, really?
She was older, but still, I was like, maybe.
Now, when you said cautious, what do you mean by that? Like, are they... Or not cautious. You said that's kind of weird to put that.
It's rare. It's more rare to not have children, I think, than it is to have children, just as a woman. But then also rare, I think, not to have any
pregnancy,
any slip, of anything. So
I see what you're saying.
It's just interesting.
I see what you're saying. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I got some questions. These questions, I'm not gonna lie. I tried to. I found some of them online, and some of them I'm just like, I kind of threw at the wall.
Okay, I'm excited.
Made about myself, Okay, so as a parent, we're just going straight into this.
Let's do it.
What do you do if your child is getting bullied at school? What do you do? Your child comes to you, Mom, I'm getting bullied, and the teachers are kind of reacting, but they're not really doing much because it's not enough to really get you in trouble. What do you do?
You're going in. That's such a hard one.
Yeah, that is a hard one.
I don't have a great answer to that. I think I need to know what has been said, how often it's being said. And I would probably, I think my gut instinct is to talk to my kid. Maybe even use a little bit of, like therapist-y stuff about, hey, that kid is not happy with who they are. They haven't been, they're probably not raised well. They're probably very unhappy with who they are. And they're saying these things because they don't feel good about themselves. So I might, do some education on that to show that about my child that it's not, about them, that it's about the person saying those things.
Okay, that's a good point.
And then secondly, if it needs to go more, and this probably is a very unpopular opinion, but I would probably teach my kid to stand up for themselves, and I don't know if that means necessarily saying things back at them because I know two wrongs don't make a right. Sure. And sometimes, though, I have noticed that in life, sometimes, it just depends, right? Sometimes if you give back what people get, sometimes people back down, right? So it's an option, right? So we'd have to see what that looked like. I don't like, that wouldn't be my first go-to, but sometimes that is, you know, you have to, or at least teach your kid to express themselves and stand up for themselves, whatever that looks like. So probably that. And then thirdly, if that's not working and it's escalating, definitely I'll probably get the school involved and teachers so they can reprimand the kid. That's a good point. Yeah, that's kind of my, I don't know, never been in the situation, but what do you think?
It's a good, honestly, that's really good. I think that's really good. I think, you know, it does depend on the child, you know, if you have, in my opinion, like, well, for the answer I'm going to have. If it's a boy, I'm going to say, it's time to get these out. Okay?
Would you?
I'm going to teach them left and rights.
Would you?
How to no. I
feel like you kind of low-key would, though.
A little bit, because...
you know, I'm not against it if it needed to go. But keep going.
Yeah, so hear me out as far as how I feel about this. So, you know, obviously, talking is always the best way to go, or walking away, of course. Like, you're never gonna, it's with kids and stuff like that, the last thing you want to do, somebody says something to you, and you attack that person.
Yeah.
Worst mistake. So obviously I'm telling my child, like, hey, look, unfortunately, you know, this can happen in school. It happens to so many people. You got to learn to get a tough skin. You got to learn to, you know, we'll have the talk and stuff like that. But I'm also, in addition to all of those things that you said, I'm teaching my kid kung fu, karate, MMA, boxing, everything. I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna also they're gonna go do some weightlifting and get some strength on them, just in case things get out of hand.
So, is this your decision or our decision?
Listen,
are we acting like you get to make all the decisions? If it is, that's fine. Yeah.
It's my decision.
Okay.
No, it'll be our decision. But in my opinion, you know, and I think this is a big deal. I've heard so many people. I'm not a martial artist. I've done no karate or anything like that myself. But a lot of people talk about how when you do learn how to fight and actually know how to like stand in the face of like somebody trying to attack you, your confidence level is up. Which means if somebody, a bully or something like that at school comes at you, you know how to walk away with confidence. You know how to stand down and be like, you know what, okay. Sure. You know? So what I would want to do is teach my kid how to defend themselves, how to fight, is, you know, per se, but also understand that you only do that if somebody touches you first.
I actually think that's a really good viewpoint.
Because
there is this confidence. And if we had a boy or a girl, I would actually want our child to...
Boy or girl, 100%.
To learn those skills. Because you're right. I think there also is this confidence that, hey, you can do something if you had to defend yourself. But there is a way of like de-escalation, I think, that they teach in these things too. And I just think that's good. I really like that idea.
100%.
I think that's really good. I knew a lot of people in our class that did... karate. Remember one person who we're friends with mutually? He was like a black belt. And he wasn't like tall, you know, he was a little bit on the shorter side and not whatever, but he never...
He was really confident
remember he was like, I'm a black belt. I told everybody. But I think that was good because nobody messed with him.
Yeah, no one was going to mess with him anyways. Because, well, I think one of the things is it builds up confidence. It really does. It actually gets you to be able to interact with people a lot more, too. Because you're not so afraid of, you know, things like that, you know? So I think it helped him out a lot, probably, too, you know? But he didn't get into fights anyways, you know?
But, I love that.
Thank you.
So, sounds like we could mix that strategy together.
Exactly.
I like it.
But if all else fails with the talking, gotta get those hands up. No. No, but anyways, just my opinion, you know, of course. You don't have to agree with us, you guys.
Let us know what you think.
Exactly. Are we fit for parenting? Anyways.
Well, no.
All right, here's more of a simple
question. Don't judge us based off of that answer.
Definitely don't. All right, judge us based off of this one. All right. Will one of us be making dinner at night or are we eating out every night? Because let me tell you guys, like, once again, we don't have kids, but we have a lot of friends that have kids. You know, obviously, they talk and stuff, and it's hard, like making dinner and taking care of your kids at the same time. You know, whether it's having to take them up to school and doctor's appointments, you got your own job, you got to do all these different things. Answer.
You're not going to believe me.
Okay, what do you say?
I 1,000,000% would make food.
Really?
Way more than going out.
Wow.
1,000,000% I would, yeah. Because now this could be I think my anxiety like comes into play and personal guilt, because as I hear when you're a parent too, you want what's best for your child, right? And you always have that parental guilt, like feeling like whatever you do, it's like not good enough, right? So I would not intentionally ever like put my child in any like, especially health dangers or anything like that. So I 1,000,000% would make meals for our family if we had a kid, way more than we do now.
Yeah.
Because it's about taking care of somebody else and making sure that child is getting the proper nutrients.
For sure.
The best growth, whatever. Potential, exactly, for the brain and the body and things like that. 1,000,000%. So that's actually not a question in my mind.
Yeah.
Now, would the meals be like super complex? No. But I actually would probably want to do like more organic, clean, 100%. Yeah.
Wow.
So actually, it's not even quite. I would do that.
Wow.
Are you surprised? I know you're
I almost don't believe you.
no, 1,000,000% I would.
I do believe
I know
you.
you do. Yeah.
No, I believe you.
It's like not even a question.
We haven't talked about this.
I'm not saying we never go out. It's just, it would be way more rare.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I know we've never talked about this before, but I do know that I have a sense of that being the case, because I know we've talked about like wanting to eat in anyways and stuff like that, cooking more and stuff like that.
For sure.
And I know that was what we do if we did have kids, for sure.
100%.
And I feel the same. Like, I grew up, my mom cooked all the time. My dad cooked too. And we ate at home. Like, we never ate out, really. Like, I remember as a kid, I could count on my hands how many times we ate out, you guys. I'm talking about even fast food too. Well, fast food's a little different because in school they were kind of promoting it a lot, you go to fast food. But anyway, so I agree with you on that. Go ahead.
And my family, we did eat out maybe like a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Not always the healthiest. And I remember negative consequences from that.
Sure.
So I would never want to put my child, through that. No, I love you, mom, love you, dad. It's not like they did anything wrong or anything, but I think we have way more awareness of nutrition now than we did back in the 80s, for sure. So anyways, so I also, because I know how, that impacted me, I wouldn't want to, I would just want to give your kid the best chance possible.
Yeah.
For health.
And the thing is, you're right about that information. In the 90s.
The 80s.
Or sorry, the 80s. Well, even in the 90s too, right?
Yeah, it was.
There was
early,
90s got a little better.
I did.
But there was so much less information as far as eating out and stuff like that. I know so many people that ate out all the time because that everything was saying that it was healthy, Everything was supposed to be healthier,
Oh, remember the fat-free craze? It's healthy. It's fat-free. Fat-free cheese.
Yeah, fat-free can be dangerous, yeah. At least from what I understand,
Fat-free cheese. It's just like, no. It's naturally, there's fat. Anyway.
For sure. Okay, this leads me to my next question. Because, this kind of, ties right into the next one. Now, you want to eat healthier, like you said, we're going to eat at home and stuff like that if you have a kid. What if your child refuses to eat veggies? Refuses. How do you get the child to eat vegetables?
I already know.
You already know?
Am I fit? Are you hurt? Okay.
Maybe you are. Yeah, maybe.
No, because...
Listen, let's see if you know what you're talking about.
Okay. I already have a plan, though.
Okay.
Because a lot of kids, not every kid, but there's a lot of kids that are very picky. They don't necessarily like veggies. I, luckily with YouTube, social media, super big bonus for now being flooded with information and knowing about people's lives who you've never met before, that kind of thing. Anyways, you basically would have to chop it up and cut it up into things. So, for example, tomato sauce.
Yeah.
If you're making like spaghetti, or pasta, things like that, chop up the zucchini, the carrots, the, whatever you need to chop up, that has a whole bunch of nutrients and throw it in, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I would do that. I would disguise things.
That's a good idea.
Blend it, maybe make smoothies that are fruit forward in flavor, but green smoothies where you get your spinach and all your other things. So I think you have to disguise it and make it taste good.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on it.
That's actually pretty good.
That's what I would do. I would just try to figure out, I would look online for sure.
Yeah.
Of ways to incorporate fruits and vegetables more so, secretly, so kids will eat it.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of like the smoothies and stuff like that, one thing that I think, I was reading this article online, they were talking about how, a lot of kids are like dehydrated and stuff like that. And, that's like not a new thing, Obviously, I remember when I was younger, going to school after, like I would go to school, play really hard. The next day, I would wake up and my whole body's aching, and a big part of that is because I lacked hydration, so my muscles were cramping. And what I was going to say is doing the smoothies and stuff is great because you can actually put. You got some food right here in your face. I'll get that for you. No problem. You can actually put. Powders and things like that, inside of the smoothies so the kid can get the hydration that they need. You know?
So many protein
Stuff
powders
like
now.
Sure,
nutrients.
As long as it's kid safe, those type of things, then yeah. It's the way to go.
Right? Okay. I'm going to let you answer first on the next one because I feel like I'm like,
Oh, no, I'm asking you the questions.
I know, but
I know what they are, so. But I can't answer next if that's
okay. We'll say, yeah.
All right, here's a good one. As a parent, and this might be like a big deciding factor if we're fit or not.
Okay.
What type of parent would you be? Now I'll answer it first.
Oh, well.
Are you going to be the nice and non-confrontational parent? Or are you going to be the strict, this is the way it is, this is how it has to be type of parent? Pretty much which one are you going to be? And there's probably others as well. I'll go first.
Okay.
So for me, as a parent, I would say, I grew up, my mom and my dad, I wouldn't say they were strict, but they definitely, if I got in trouble, they let me know.
Yeah.
They let me know that, it wasn't cool and stuff like that. And I did like that parenting style a lot because, I knew that I had freedom to do things, but not to go crazy. You know what I mean? They kept me in check in a lot of ways, when it came to that. For me, I would take a part of that. I would definitely be a little bit more laid back. I think ultimately I'd probably be laid back. Actually, I got a plan. All right, you want to hear the plan?
I'd love it.
This is what I'm thinking.
Tell me the plan.
At ages like child age 0 or 1 or something like that to probably 12 or 13, I'm going to be relatively strict.
0 to 1 to 12 to 13.
Sorry, 0 to 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from 0 to 13, I'm going to be strict because I feel like it's important at that age to really guide the child, Okay. Not going to be unreasonable, I'm just going to be strict, right? Once the child gets 14, 15, 16, those teenage years, they don't listen as much. And this is just my plan, guys, just so you guys know. I don't know 100% if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna relax a little bit.
Okay.
Still gonna be strict, still gonna be saying you can't do this, can't do that, but I'm gonna do a lot of try it out, see how it works for you, and if it doesn't work, then I told you, and listen to me, So I would do that, and then as the child got to a little older, later teens, 18, 19, 20, I'm going to try and be a best friend with kind of with trying to guide them to where they need to be. Does that make sense?
So strict to 13.
Yes.
Maybe back off a little bit as they become teenagers, but still be strict.
Exactly.
But also a little more lenient.
Yes.
More lenient. Then the 18, 19, 20, since they're not kids anymore, it's really just the friendship and wise advice.
Wise advice.
Don't tell them what to do.
Exactly. And it might be the wise advice might come in more towards the 20s, but definitely probably start around the 18. That's how I thought about it. I don't know if that's the case, but that's what I've been thought.
So that's how we're raising our kid.
That's how we're raising a kid.
I like this.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'll play more good cop.
Okay.
Okay.
Play good cop.
I think I am very naturally loving, so I want to be very loving, very affectionate with our kids if we have them.
Yeah.
Super, super loving. However, I will for sure set limits and boundaries 100%. I don't want my kid to think that they can just say anything, do anything without any consequences. So, but it's, but I think setting the consequences firm, but not cruel, not harsh. I don't believe in corporal punishment, so I wouldn't do that. Oh, speaking of, we should talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay.
But I believe in corporal punishment, so... but it would be firm boundaries, things like that, but also just very, very loving. And try to talk things through. I think I would want my child to develop emotional intelligence at a young age. Tell me how they feel, tell me what they need. Yeah. More so I would encourage that piece to it. Expressing themselves.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that. Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. I think, the good cop, bad cop, that's kind of a good thing.
Oh, more so, yeah.
For
Go
sure.
to your dad. Ask for dad.
Yeah, exactly. But what happens, though, if I'm not there...
Yeah.
And I'm away for the day or something like that.
Right.
And the kid's like, you're like, hey, I need you to clean your room,
no.
Your room's a little dirty and I want you to clean up. And the kid's like, no, Mom.
Yeah.
No. I'm not cleaning anything. What do you do? When they say, wait for dad?
Yeah, no, not at all. That's, yeah. I know, we have to tell the kid that I'm dad for the day while you're gone.
God, so you're going to get real strict?
No, 100%. I would take away some things if I needed to, keep them in their room.
Yeah.
Think about things.
Which actually leads to that question as far as discipline itself. How would you discipline, the child if it was like that?
No, you tell me. You're the one who grew up with way more corporal punishment than I did.
Well, I definitely
tell me where you're landing on that now in your older age. Because this is a big one. Because this is hard to compromise on.
100%, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, just to let you guys know, I grew up, I definitely got whippings for sure. Well, I call them whoopings, but got whooped. For sure when things got crazy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So naturally for me, like when I'm younger, like when we were talking, actually at like 18, when we're like, hey, we're gonna have kids one day. What are we gonna do? What's it gonna be like? I remember being like, I'm definitely whooping my kids. I'm definitely gonna get the belt.
He said this to me straight up. Yeah. And I remember, I don't think I told you this. My heart started racing when you told me this. I had anxiety. I said to myself,
did you really?
I did.
Wow, I didn't know that.
No, I did. I was like, oh my God, am I going to have to be okay with like watching my child get whoopings?
Yeah.
Whooped? I literally thought that.
Yeah.
Then I was like, and it didn't ever settle right with me.
Yes.
But because I knew we weren't ready to have kids at that time, I was like, okay, well, let's kick the can down the road. Probably wasn't the best idea.
Sure.
But it worked out.
It definitely, obviously, yes, if somebody, says that. But it'd be one thing if I said it at 30 versus saying it at 18.
Yeah, no, I really did have an internal reaction.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I tried to be chill.
No, for sure. You did. I knew you weren't happy with it. I know you definitely didn't want it.
No, I was like, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah. Well, because, I grew up with the belief and understanding that for kids, you have to discipline in that type of way because they won't listen. They just won't listen fully and stuff like that. But in my opinion now, and it is my opinion, I'm not sure some of you might feel that way or whatever like that, but I don't know if I've told you this. I personally believe that there's other things that you can do that is actually, in a way, a lot worse. Not worse intentionally trying to be mean, but worse that could, because I would get a whooping and it would be over and everything's fine. And everything was back to normal. Like I just go about doing whatever I was doing. If I got in trouble, got a whooping, done. Yeah. But you can do things like taking things away, and next thing you know, not have privileges for months, weeks. And trust me, there were things that I had when I was younger. If they'd gone for a week or a month even, I'd have done whatever my mom wanted to do. Yeah. Whatever she wanted me to do. Yeah. Like, dishes for a month, no problem. You know what I mean? So,
and this might also not agree with, but it worked for me. So I think you have to see what works for every kid, because what works for one kid, I hear does not work for another. But my dad, he never, hit me or things like that. But he always, not always, but when he got really mad at me, I thought like he was mad, and he would threaten, to hit me, and that was just what I needed. I was like, oh no, I'm not even starting this
for sure,
because he would just get this like this look. He would go from like nice, loving, chill dad to just like you're just like, oh my God, like a beast. So and that was enough. It was just for a few seconds to scare me.
Yep.
And then I snapped right back into it. It was usually like if I talked back to him.
Sure.
Did something I wasn't supposed to. So anyway, so I feel like that was effective. Yeah. That worked for me.
Absolutely. No, I get, and I think every kid's going to be different, right?
One time he snapped a belt in front of me.
One time.
Well, I think he did a couple times, but he snapped a belt. Do you know how loud that belt is? I didn't think I'd survive that. I was like, no, okay. So anyways, I completely was like, I'm sorry. I started crying. Yeah. But it worked. I did get back in line.
It's true.
So I actually do. So I do have to say though, because kids test boundaries, right?
Yeah, of course.
And yes, they do have to know it's not okay to talk back. It's not okay to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
So those things did work because I was like, okay, don't even go there.
True. Yeah. Exactly.
I even think up until I was like old, like 17, probably even 18.
Yeah. You still were.
If I give him no, he didn't.
You still got that.
Not that. But meaning like he's scared. He wasn't okay.
Very
with
firm.
it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm sure if I talked to him like that now, he wouldn't be okay. So anyway,
no, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. And the most important thing is, and you tell me if you agree with this. I think we're on the same page. Yeah. Like it's all about discipline through,
not actual physical, but
through,
other
mental,
things.
psychological.
Yeah, in a way.
Whatever you got to do.
In a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Discipline is important. I think that's how I feel. Some parents really don't do it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You know, whatever. But I think it's needed because I think children do need to learn etiquette, appropriateness, boundaries, what's acceptable, and how to treat people versus not. So I do think they need to learn that. And if you don't have any consequences, like they're not learning that.
You're not learning that.
I think everything's fine. True. And I think it does a disservice, you know?
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Oh my God. We're on the same page.
We are. Now, fam, we got a lot more questions, but I think we're going to make a part 2 of this.
Let's make a part 2. I actually really like this conversation.
Because I have a lot of good ones, but do you want me to ask you one more?
Okay, yeah, one more.
Let me ask you one more, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
I think this is a good way to end it. What do you think the core values would be that you would want to instill in your child? Ooh. Right? I mean, that's obviously a tough question. And it's one of those things where, you know, you can have this idea in the beginning, but then, you know, things might go crazy as the kid gets older. Who knows? But what would you like to instill if you could? In a child?
Yeah, I love that. I would want to, for sure, instill showing other people respect. And showing what that looks like, because I think respect is such an umbrella term, right? But I think respect can be courtesy to others, curiosity about someone else's life, listening to other people when they speak, you know, showing care for somebody when they need it, right? Or want it, or whatever, you know? That kind of stuff. So just, I think, an overall respect. Showing, I would want to show that it's okay to show love, like loving emotions and feelings to people who treat them well, you know, that kind of thing. What is love? All that stuff. And then also a big one, to think for themselves.
Oh, that's
because that, I was definitely... you know, I wouldn't call myself a leader. I definitely I guess, sure, I followed, I guess, you know. I was definitely like, you know, I was so chill. I was like, whatever you want to do, I'll do. Da-da-da-da. And then with teenage years, you know, my friends would experiment with things. And I was like, I'll experiment too, right? And it was just kind of this go-to. And not saying I did not think for myself at all. But I think if that was way more instilled in me, I probably would have said no to more things. And that feels good. I think it feels good to feel like you're your own person.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So you definitely feel like you feel like there were a lot of things that you did have as a child, but then certain things were more the following.
I think it was influenced more so than than I think I didn't need to be.
Yeah, that's normal though for kids and teenagers, you know. So that's a normal thing, you know.
How about you? For me, instill in our child.
You know, it's funny because like I think we just have a lot of the same opinions and stuff like that. I do love what you were saying and stuff, you know. I definitely would instill a lot of confidence, adding on to what you're saying, because a lot of the stuff you said I would say too. Confidence is important. I know this might sound crazy, but just lately I've been thinking about this, and just hear me out, you guys. And I don't know if you feel the same way or not, but deserving. I feel like it's important to feel like you deserve without feeling like somebody else does not deserve. Does that make sense? Like you don't want to feel like you're stealing something away from somebody. But the idea of, hey, I deserve this, I think is important, because a lot of times in life we get caught up doing things for other people and stuff like that, and I don't know, but whatever happens, but in a lot of people's minds, they feel like they don't deserve things. And I think that stops you from actually getting more things that you want in your life. So I would want to instill that quality, and probably a lot of other values too.
Sure.
But just like the deserving and confidence and understanding and stuff.
Sure, and I love that. Not deserving over anybody else.
Not deserving.
But deserving just as much. As somebody. And I love that. So I think that instills confidence. That's about the confidence thing. And then also understanding that if you don't get something at that time, that it's okay. And that also doesn't mean that you're never going to. To keep trying, to keep going for it.
Oh, that's a big one.
Right? Don't give up.
That's a big one.
But I love that.
Don't give up.
I love that. Yeah. But if you want something, and it doesn't hurt anybody else, and believe me, you deserve it, then great. It might not happen in the time that you want it to, but keep going. I feel like I gave up on some things, or took longer to do things. Right, 100%.
We all did.
So I would want to instill that too. That's good, babe.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know. So you guys let us know. Are we fit to be parents?
Are we fit?
Are we fit? Do we fit?
Like,
no. I know, right? I only want the haters to answer. All right, no, just joking. But are we fit to be parents? Do you guys feel like, you know, we're overreacting in certain ways or we're underreacting or what.
Yeah.
We would love to know what you want, what you have to say.
No, sorry to interrupt.
No,
I was going to say, I love talking about parent stuff because everyone's so different. And there's not one right way to parent. So I want to hear your opinions because I'm sure they differ from ours. Some probably are similar. But comment down below. Let us know what you think. And we'll do a part 2 if you guys like this video.
Yes, we'll definitely do a part 2 because I got actually a lot more questions.
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys.
We'll see you again for another video. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks so much.
Peace out, child.